ever heard of Kelly Monteith? But Kelly Monteith had a variety show back in the 1970s. Well, my favorite variety show, I guess, was a country version of that, and that was called Hee Haw. And some of you may remember it because, yes, it had a lot of good old-fashioned fun, straightforward jokes, but a lot of budding country stars at the time, Kenny Rogers, Loretta Lynn, Charlie Pride, got heavily promoted on Hee Haw. But like a lot of other shows, other variety shows, it was led by two musicians, in this case veteran country singers, Buck Owens and Roy Clark. It also had several skits or standard things they did. They had In the Cornfield, where they're always telling goofball jokes that about anybody can figure out, Junior Samples in his BR 549 used car lot. But also, he had what I considered my favorite was Archie Campbell, the Barbershop, where veteran country comic Archie Campbell would sit with a barbershop backdrop, meaning the size of this, complete with the tonics and the hairspray, or not hairspray for a barbershop, the tonics and the combs and the clippers and you name it, barber chair out front, and Hee Haw co-star, Roy Clark, would portray his customer. And while Roy Clark was sitting in the barber chair with his or the sheet wrapped around him, and Archie Campbell had his barber smock on, Archie would begin to tell a story. And usually, what would happen is one of two things. Either Roy Clark, at the end of the story, would either bust out laughing, or he'd be completely silent with his head cocked at a 45-degree angle, kind of like a dog does when it hears a funny sound and it just can't quite identify the sound. Kind of like, I can't believe you just said that. Well, one of the stories that Archie Campbell would tell was a parody on the story of Cinderella. And you know about Cinderella. It was I don't want to say ugly because she was actually a very beautiful young lady, evidently, servant girl that was mistreated by her stepmother and her stepsisters, but thanks to the guidance of a benevolent fairy godmother, she's transformed, literally, magic wand, into a fairy princess, went to a ball that the king of the foreign country had, fell in love with the prince, married, and lived happily ever after. But of course, Archie Campbell couldn't just do it that way. He had to do it by substituting a few words. And it wasn't Cinderella, it was Rindercella. It wasn't stepmother, it was muggly other. And it wasn't evil stepsisters, it was bad sisters or sad bisters. And the story went something like this. Once upon a time in a corn country, there lived a beautiful girl named Rindercella. Now, Rindercella lived with her muggly other and her two sad bisters in a hill house at the bottom of a hig bill. At the top of that hig bill, there lived in a pig palace, not a piddle Alice, but a pig palace. It was the king of the corn country and his son, the Prince of Hints. Now, the king was concerned because, while he had the Prince of Hints to succeed him one day, the Prince of Hints had no one. And the king realized that he was going to have to either wind a fight for the Prince of Hints, or at least find a beautiful girl for the Prince of Hints to loll and fun with, or the Prince of Hints would never have anybody. So the king and the Prince of Hints decided to host a fancy fall at the pig palace, invite all the beautiful girls from about the corn country in hopes that the Prince of Hints would loll and fun with one of them. Well, the invitations were sent out, and of course Rindercella's muggly other and her two sad bisters got invitations. But Rindercella, nobody had ever heard of her. She was just some lonely girl, and she had on, she didn't wear drancy fesses, she just wore wordy dags and was mostly fair-booted. Spent her time flopping moors, things like that. Nobody knew who Rindercella was, but nevertheless, Rindercella got into the spirit of things by helping her muggly other, her sad bisters, into their drancy fesses and fixing their fare and getting them ready for the fancy fall. But nevertheless, when it came time for the muggly other and the sad bisters to leave, Rindercella was so unhappy that she went back into her riddle room at the back of the hill house at the bottom of the hill bill, and she just started eyeing her cries out. She was just beside herself. But while she was eyeing her cries out, all of a sudden, there came another beautiful girl in the drancy fess, and it was Rindercella's Gary Fodmother. And in the Gary Fodmother's hand was a magic wand. And with that magic wand, the Gary Fodmother could do wonderful things. She told Rindercella to go get a pig bumpkin out of the garden. So here comes Rindercella carrying this pig bumpkin. Now the Gary Fodmother says, roll it on the floor. So Rindercella rolled the pig bumpkin on the floor, strike the magic wand, and became a Cancy Farage. The Gary Fodmother then told Rindercella to go get a couple of Mike Weiss. See, Rindercella had pets. So she got a couple of Mike Weiss, turned them loose, and strike the magic wand. They became Hancy Forces to pull the Cancy Farage. Next, Gary Fodmother told Rindercella to go get a couple of rat fats. And with a strike of a magic wand, those rat fats became footmen right at the back of the Cancy Farage. And now, she was all ready to go, but wait a minute. Rindercella was still wearing ruddy dags and had healthy fare. But with a strike of the magic wand, all of a sudden she had Hancy Fair, a Drancy Fess, and she had Slash Clippers for her fiddle eat. And now she was ready to go to the Mancy Fall. Hopped in the Cancy Farage pulled by the Hancy Forces, got up the Pig Bell, and onto the Pig Ballast. When she walked into the Pig Ballast, the prancing Hinsar, the Stuzik mopped, his draw jocked. Why, this was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen in his life. Of course he had to meet her, and they danced every dance, but all of a sudden, seemed like in no time at all, they heard bong, bong. That's right, it was the stroke of midnight. And at that point, Rindercella knew what her Gary Fodmother had said about midnight. That at the stroke of midnight, everything was going to change. Her Drancy Fest would once again become a ruddy dag. Her Cancy Farage would once again become a pig bumpkin. Hancy Forces would once again become Mike Weiss. Footmen would once again become rat fats. And she would once again become fair-footed. And I want to say no foos on her sheet, but maybe that's the wrong way to put it. And so, as she dashed out, running as fast as she could, out of the Mancy Fall, all of a sudden, she started hobbling. Couldn't figure out why, but then she looked down at her feet, found out that Rindercella had slopped her dripper. Right in front of the Pig Ballast, right in front of the prancing hens, Rindercella had slopped her dripper. But she kept running, and by the time she got back, as I said, the Cancy Farage would once again become the pig bumpkin. The Hancy Forces would once again become Mike Weiss. The footmen would once again become the rat fats, and once again, she was wearing ruddy dags and had healthy fare. The end, except the prancing hens found the dripper that Rindercella slopped. And he knew that that slopped dripper belonged to the beautiful girl that he love and fuck with at the Mancy Fall. So he decided, he and his entourage, they were going to find out who this beautiful girl was. And so they made a list of all the beautiful girls at the Mancy Fall and decided to visit each one of them. And they took the slop dripper along with them. Well, one thing they learned was that while there were a lot of beautiful girls in the corn country, they all had fig beat. And the slop dripper fitted it. And it was one after another. Fig beat, slop dripper, fitted it. Go to the next little hiddle house. Fig beat, slop dripper, fitted it. They were getting pretty discouraged. They got to were in Cella's little house. And sure enough, the ugly and the sad visitors, they were convinced that they were the beautiful girls that the Prancing Hints lull and fug with. But then again, Fig Beat, Slop Dripper, Fid and Dead. But wait a minute. Raider Cella from her riddle back at the Hiddle House. She came out with Raider Cella's fiddle lead, Slop Dripper, Fid and Dead. And the Prancing Hints knew at that time that Raider Cella was the beautiful girl that he lulled and fug with at the Dancing Fall. And at that point, he lulled and fug with Raider Cella all over again. And I want to say they lived happily ever after. But there is a story to this morning. And that is, if you want to meet a Prancing Hints at the Dancing Fall, don't forget to slop your dripper.
Alright, that was awesome. Okay, alright, so we know that you guys have been waiting patiently for this next performer. We're really lucky to have her. Her schedule's really full. We booked her last minute. It was really awesome. We're really lucky. We had to pull a bunch of strings from our people, but Isabella Chang!
Isabella Chang!
She is going to be playing Minuet #1 by Bach, and she's going to be playing it on her violin, and we're very excited to have her here. And we're going to have actually Sean is going to be our host of the party. And so right now, Sean, I want you to go back into that hallway. Please don't listen. Cover your ears, sing a song.
Go into the stairwell.
Go into the stairwell.
Cover your ears.
All right. So what I need from you all are 3 famous characters for these people to play to attend Sean's party. And Sean's going to guess who they are. You guys are going to give him hints. Like if they're movie stars, you're going to say lines from the movies they've been in, stuff like that. Or if they're famous singers, you can sing parts of songs or give song titles, things like that. Does that make sense?
And make sure it's a character that these guys would know. If they don't know it, then we'll come up with a new character too. So,
all right.
One for Sari. Yes, back there. Abraham Lincoln. Can you play Abraham Lincoln, Sari? No. No? You
right.
Want to try it?
Shout it out at me.
The Joker! Michael Jackson.
Michael
Jackson. Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid. All right, Sari. Little Mermaid.
Right.
Ariel.
How about
for Matt. Justin Bieber. Do it. He doesn't know very much. All right, someone else.
Christian's gonna take Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Oh, he totally looks like the Beats too. Look at that. Oh, what a looker.
All right, we need one more.
Michael Jackson, Matt.
All right.
All right.
We need one more. All right, perfect. So you guys are gonna come out one at a time. You're gonna knock on the door. Sean's gonna let you in. You guys are gonna have a little party. It's gonna be a really good
So let's start with everybody back here and give like 30 seconds in between going. You're going to pretend to knock on a door or ring a doorbell, and Sean will answer the door. So, which one of you wants to go first? We'll go Christian. Christian, you're up first. Okay. So, and then leave 30 seconds after Christian goes and he enters the room and Sean's asking him questions and stuff. Alrighty.
Sure, things ready. Oh, the door. Hello.
Baby, up. Down for a song and I can sing to you.
Oh, I would love that.
Your beauty overtakes me. Yeah, all right.
I went to beauty school, so. I would love for you to sing me Mary Had a Little Lamb.
That's not really one of my best songs. I have better songs.
Canal.
How about Baby Baby by Justin Bieber? Oh. Oh, welcome. Hello. Can I help you with something? You want to get... Is there anything I can do for you? Oh. I don't even know where the mermaids are.
No, but I can sing another song.
Oh, I love that. Welcome to my home. Make yourself at home. Your nose? No, you're a real thriller.
Everybody, that was awesome. Good job, guys.
That was so great. Thank you so much, Sean. Give it one more time for a wonderful.
Is Gangnam Style, performed by Seagal. You guys all know this song. Worldwide, very popular. So, bring on the moves.
오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유 하나 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 나는 선호해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 걸 선호해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때려 선호해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선호해 그런 선호해 아름다워 사랑스러워 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 지금부터 내까지 가볼까 오빤 강남스타일 정수리케
Our Father, which art in heaven.
Yes,
Don't interrupt me, I'm praying.
but you called me.
I didn't call you, I'm praying. Our Father, which art in heaven.
There, you did it again.
Did what?
Called me. You said, Our Father which art in heaven. Here I am. What's on your mind?
But I didn't mean anything by it. I was, just saying my prayers for the day. I always say the Lord's Prayer. Makes me feel good, kind of like getting a duty done.
All right, go on.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hold it. What do you mean by that?
By what?
By hallowed be thy name.
It means, good grief, how should I know what it means? It's just part of the prayer. By the way, what does hallowed mean?
It means honored, holy, wonderful.
That makes sense. I never thought what hallowed meant before. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Do you really mean that?
Sure, why not?
What are you doing about it?
Doing? Nothing, I guess. I just think it'd be kind of neat if you got in control of things down here, like you have up there.
Have I got control of you?
Well, I go to church.
That isn't what I asked you. What about your bad temper? You've really got a problem there, you know. And then there's the way you spend your money. All on yourself. And what about the kind of books you read?
Quit picking on me. I'm just as good as the rest of some of those phonies at the church.
Excuse me. I thought you were praying for my will to be done. If that is to happen, it will have to start with the ones who are praying for it. Like you, for example.
Oh, all right. I guess I do have some hang-ups. Now that you mention it, I could probably name some others.
So could I.
I haven't given it much thought until now, but I really would like to cut out some of those things. I would like to, be really free.
Good. Now we're getting somewhere. We'll work together, you and I. Some victories can truly be won. I'm proud of you.
Look, Lord, we need to finish up here. This is taking a lot longer than it usually does. Give us this day our daily bread.
You need to cut out the bread. You're overweight as it is.
Wait a minute, what is this? Criticize me day? Here I was, doing my religious duty, when all of a sudden you break in and remind me of all my hang-ups.
Praying is a dangerous thing. You could wind up changed, you know. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. You called me, and here I am. It's too late to stop now. Keep praying. I'm interested in the next part of your prayer. Well, go on.
I'm scared too.
Scared? Scared of what?
I know you'll say.
Try me and see.
Forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us.
What about Bill?
See, I knew it. I knew you were going to know. Why, Lord, he's told lies about me. He cheated me out of some money. He never paid back that debt he owes me. Why, I swore to get even with Bill.
But your prayer. What about your prayer?
I didn't mean it.
Well, at least you're honest. But it's not much fun carrying that load of bitterness around inside, is it?
No, but I'll feel a lot better as soon as I get even. Boy, have I got some plans for old Bill. He'll wish he never did me any harm.
You won't feel any better. You'll feel worse. Revenge isn't sweet. Think of how unhappy you already are. But I can change all that.
You can? How?
Forgive Bill. Then I'll forgive you. Then the hate and sin will be Bill's problem and not yours. And you will have peace in your heart.
but I can't forgive Bill.
Then I can't forgive you.
Oh, you're right. You always are. More than I want revenge on Bill, I want to be right with you. All right, I forgive him. Show him the right way, Lord. He's bound to be awfully miserable now that I think of it. Anyone who goes around doing the things he does to others has to be out of it. Some way, somehow, show him the right way.
There now. Wonderful. How do you feel?
Not bad. Not bad at all. In fact, I feel pretty great. You know, maybe I won't go to bed uptight tonight for the first time since I can remember. Maybe I won't be so tired because I'm not getting enough rest.
You're not through with your prayer. Go on.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Good. I'll do that. Just don't put yourself in a place where you can be tempted.
What do you mean by that?
Don't turn on the TV when you know your homework isn't finished. And be careful when you are using the internet. Some of those sites have things you know you shouldn't be looking at. Think about what you talk about with your friends. Is what you are saying glorifying to me? And please don't use me for an escape hatch.
I don't understand that last part.
Sure you do. You've done it a lot of times. You get caught in a bad situation, get into trouble, and come running to me. Lord, help me out of this mess, and I promise you I'll never do it again. You remember some of those bargains you tried to make with me?
Yes, and I'm ashamed, Lord. I really am.
Which bargain are you remembering?
Well, when I cheated on that test, I remember praying, oh God, please don't let me get caught. I'll read my Bible every day.
You didn't get caught, but you didn't keep your promise, did you?
I'm sorry, Lord, I really am. Up until now, I thought that if I just said the Lord's Prayer every day, then I could do whatever I wanted. I didn't expect things to happen like it did.
Go ahead and finish your prayer.
For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Do you know what would bring me glory? What would really make me happy?
No, but I'd like to know. I want now to please you. I can see what a mess I've made of my life. And now I can see how cool it would be to really be one of your followers.
You just answered the question.
I did?
Yes. The thing that would bring me glory is to have people like you truly love me. And I see that happening between us. Now that some of these old sins are exposed and out of the way, well, there's no telling what we can do together.
Lord, let's see what we can make of me, okay?
Yes, let's see.
Amen.
That was awesome. So let's give a round of applause for all our first acts that are there today. Wow. So right now, we're going to take an intermission, 15 minutes. Take a drink and a pee. We'll be back in a 15 actually. So, I'll give a warning, 10-minute warning, and off you go.
All right, the next act I'm going to introduce is Michelle Manning. She is going to read some limericks for us. So give it up for Michelle.
Hi, how are you? I don't know how many people know what a limerick is, but I'll tell you what it is. A limerick is a funny little poem containing 5 lines. It has a rhyme pattern. The last word of the first, second, and fifth lines rhyme with each other. The last word of the third and the fourth line rhymes with each other. Here's an example. There was an old man for you who dreamed he was eating his shoe. He awake in the night with a terrible fright and found out was quite true. one cat too many. So they started to fight and scratch and bite. Now, instead of 2 cats, there aren't any. This one has a surprise ending. My bishop said, "Oh, Mr. King is to live as a bird on the wing." Then he climbed up a steeple. They scared all the people. So they caged him and taught him to sing. Every math student has asked, is algebra fruitless endeavor? It seems they have been trying forever to find X, Y, and Z. If they've not found them yet, then they'll never. Now this is just silly. There was a young lady from Leeds who swallowed a package of seeds. Now, the sorry young glass is quite covered with grass, but it has all tomatoes she needs. Now, here's one with a surprise ending. Speedy Sam, while exploring a cave, had what I call a very close shave. He stepped on a bear that had dozed out there. I'm glad he was faster than brave. Now, I wish this could be me. There once was a girl named Jill who freaked at the sight of a drill. She brushed every day, so her dentist would say, "Your teeth are perfect, no bill." Thank you.
Video that you watched before Michelle there by the drinking fountain. We said it was basically holy water because it just tastes so refreshing and stuff. But did you know if you mix it with a laxative, you can get a religious movement? So right now, we're going to have Meg and Sam, her friend Sam, and they're going to sing a song for us. And guys, that sounds awesome. So listen up. soon we're going to have the audience participation.
Who should we pick?
I don't know. Well, before I do that, let me get this set up.
All
And
right.
tell you a story.
Tell us a story, Tim.
Okay, so one of my first jobs was here at the church, and we were recording sermons on tapes and stuff. My dad assigned it to me. Really excited about it, PK. And it was on cassette tape. First of all, I was 12-ish, and it was 2000, maybe 2005-ish, 2004-ish. So, first of all, not many people use cassettes even then, right? So, cassettes were...
That's okay, Penny. You know what? It was great. I loved it. You know, it was a good throwback for the younger kids. I liked it. I got you.
So, we set up the stand back there, and we sold some books and some of the sermons that were back there. And one time, a guy came in, and he was coming up to the table to buy some things, and he had an obvious hairpiece on, and it was just kind of, flopping around a bit. And I held back my smiles and my laughs, and he got a book, a couple tapes, and so I typed it in the calculator, got the total, and I said, "How would you like to pay?" All right. So now we're going to do Minute to Win It. All right. So this game is called...
We're going to do Sound Guy X.
Huh?
I got you, man. Yeah.
It's where they put people who do bad jokes.
Oh.
You would never go there.
No. So this game is called A Bit Dicey. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch this video. It's going to explain what you do. And then we're going to have 3 volunteers come up here, and they're going to try for it. And whoever can do it, get this big bag of candy right here. Wonka mix-up. Good stuff.
A bit dicey. Stacking 6 dice can be difficult. Balancing them to top a popsicle stick is even harder. Building a dice tower on a popsicle stick held in your mouth, now that's a minute to win challenge. With a clenched jaw and ninja-like focus, the contestant must keep all 6 dice stacked for 3 seconds. Failure to complete this task in 60 seconds may result in elimination.
Alright, so a bit dicey. So, a recap of that, you hold a popsicle stick in your mouth, and you have to stack 6 dice on top of each other and hold it for 3 seconds. So, we get 3 volunteers to try this out. Alright, Mike.
Mike, I see you.
Jonah? You come on.
Alright, how about
Punch your
Luke?
brother? Alright.
Do we have 3? 1,
I think
2,
we have 3.
3? Alright.
And if you guys can't get this, we'll have another minute to win it at the very end.
Alright, so, popsicle stick for you. Alright, need
Stick
your
for
phones.
you. Popsicle stick for you. And who's going to go first? Mike, you want to go first? Alright. So, stick your popsicle stick in your mouth and keep it flat. And now you have 60 seconds to stack all 6 dice. So here, put it in here. Yeah, you're going to stack them one on top of each other. You got to keep it level and finish your job. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a challenging.
So tell us when you're ready.